I'm back.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Say hi, everybody.
And we have an extra panel member today.
We do.
Everyone say hi to Connor.
So, Connor.
Oh, it's okay. It's just saying that our show is starting.
Yeah.
I can't put on ping pong right now because we're going to talk about Drag Race. Would you like to talk about drag queens?
You'll like them. They're very fun.
Yeah, Michael's got on Spider-Man.
Yeah, always.
Michael always has on Spider-Man.
He said it's Tom Holland.
Spider-Man. When Far From Home was out, I bought enough Spider-Man shirts. I think that I could wear a different Spider-Man shirt for 30 days.
Hi, guys.
Hi, honey.
Logan.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi. What's up, buddy? What's up?
All right, now we're going to talk about drag queens. Are you ready?
Ready?
Choices 2020.
Yep. That is the title of the episode, which is
episode 9, season 12, episode 9, right?
Yes.
So, what season was 2016?
That would have been 4 years ago. So that'd be 8.
8? Either 8 or 9.
Oh, yeah, maybe it was Bob's season. I got to think of the challenges because I know they did it in season 4. Oh, yeah, so it would have been 8. So season 4, season 8 would have had another election because they do it every time there's an election. Major election. I can't remember Bob's challenge if they did an election, but Chad's challenge is really famous because that was the one Chad wore the disco outfit. And he's like really, really, really funny because he did not want to get political on the show, so he was really updo and all that. Real famous drag queens, our RuPaul stuff came from that episode, and this was basically that challenge. This episode.
Hey, B.
Hey, B's here. Say hi, B.
Hi, B.
Anyone wants to know? This is Connor. He is our extra co-host.
Say, look at the camera. Say, I'm Connor.
Hey, Connor.
Okay. So, we start with a mini challenge.
Well, first they come back to the workroom.
First they go back to the
workroom. They erase the mirror, and it was Widow. Oh wait, it was Jam. They had gone home the week before. Wasn't much drama this time around.
No.
There's some different editing in this episode. We'll talk about it later for the runway. It was very different, but the big bully story is gone. It's been gone a couple weeks now, so that has died out with Aiden and all them gone. So now Jan's storyline was gone because that was the new big storyline they were building up. And then we have just basically we're dwindling down to the girls. Now we're starting to look at finale type storylines. What can get you to the finale? Who do you have the drive to get to the finale? So I think that's where we're going to be now from here to the end of the season. Who has the it factor? Who has the to go? And that's storylines we start to create. A mini challenge comes up, which was
they basically the sponsor was what is it called? Pretty Litter. So they basically
oh my god, the cats.
They all had to dress up as cats. Yes.
Who went first? Who was the first? Who?
It was
hilarious. Oh my god.
You go play them.
Okay. It was Jackie or Crystal? Was it Jackie or Crystal?
No, Crystal went first. Jackie went second.
Okay, so Crystal was so funny. Oh my god. She had a full character. She realized RuPaul was just going off on her. It was hilarious. Some of them were, but anyway, explain the challenge.
But yeah, basically they are trying to basically they're all dressed up as cats and they're doing their it's not like a commercial, but they're trying to find a spokesperson.
Yeah.
For the product. So they all had to dress up as cats, and basically Ru would basically throw stuff at them and they had to answer back and interact and basically act like a cat and stuff like that. And some of them did really well. Yeah, funny.
So the challenge was kind of a combination of a couple different skills. It was a a challenge of improv. Obviously, you know what can you get with something that's immediate thrown to you. How can you adapt to the situation quickly? It was also a challenge of product placement. Remember, RuPaul's entire empire is about a product and making it sell the product. And
yes, you did spell it right.
and it was about and it was about commercialism. You know, can you do a commercial? Can you use your personality to sell a particular product? And some of them were hilarious. Some of them really,
most of them did
really,
pretty
really
well.
hard. And then some other ones just did not get the challenge at all. They just they thought it was more about impersonating a cat and being in that cat costume. Which the girls who did really well, you would notice, they completely transported themselves outside the persona of that costume. They created something that was bigger than one, and that's where they really excelled, and it were hilarious. So there's some great sound bites that are going to come out of the challenge.
I know. That's one of actually. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was pretty
Crystal
funny.
did well. Jackie did well. Heidi did well. Heidi was she's just so naturally funny. At first, she wasn't going to do well.
She's out of her shell now, so she's good. She's finally found her groove, and it's really starting to work for her.
And Gigi's kind of in a rut right now, but Gigi had an interesting take on this challenge because she took the cat out of the challenge completely.
Yeah, she did.
You put Gigi Good in the challenge, and I thought that was very unique because a lot of these sports people and stuff like that who are endorsing product do that. Whatever product they're endorsing, it becomes about the sports personality or the star personality, and not about the product itself. And that's what the road that Gigi took, and it really, I think, it really paid off for her. It was really interesting.
Yeah,
she was all about fashion and about Gigi being a fashion icon, and Gigi being stuck in this cat costume, and it was cute. Really thinking outside the box.
Actually, I don't think there was really anybody that did a horrible job at this one, at the mini challenge.
Yeah, there were some that fell kind of flat, but none of them froze. None of them absolutely bombed at it. Some of them were just kind of flat, not funny. And
so then the winner of that challenge, I believe it was, who was it? It was,
Jackie, I believe.
If I remember correctly, no, it wasn't Gigi.
Crystal or Jackie, I think.
It was Jackie. Jackie's the one that got.
That was that funny one in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie's the one that got that one.
Well, and this sets up a very interesting storyline. This becomes Jackie's storyline. This becomes her real big introduction into Drag Race. You know, they're going to start looking at her heritage and start looking at her family history and start looking at who she is culturally, and they're going to build a big storyline around it this episode. And it starts with this win, because with this win, Jackie had always been kind of riding that almost win, kind of in the winner's circle, but not quite there. Cool kids kind of table, and she gets this win. This mini challenge win, which I believe is her second mini challenge win. She's so pumped with, she's going to do it. She's going to win the big challenge this time. So now Jackie is thrust forward into the spotlight, and it becomes her episode.
Yeah, and then we start to see it. We start to see a shift. Basically, you can pretty much tell who's going to do really well and who's going to start having problems now.
Yes. We've got Widow in the mix, who's having lots and lots of self-doubt. We've got Gigi starting to question the decisions she's making because she was riding high, and the only place to go is down when you're riding high that early in the season.
Yeah,
and that's
early in the season.
Yep. So she's thinking she's got to change up her game. And then now you've got a couple of these, Heidi and Jackie and Crystal, who are now in this. Oh my God, I've got some self-confidence. I'm doing well. Finally. So
right.
It's kind of the roles are reversed.
The roles are. And I think in Widow's case, she's been getting a little too cocky.
Oh, because you're going to.
Widow became the villain. Widow was the new villain. When you had somebody had to step up, and the next big personality in the room, as far as being the big villain, it would be Widow. And instead of adapting to the villain role, she took on the self-deprecation role. And she started. She was the one. I let everybody down. I failed everybody, and I'm doing horribly. And why am I here? She became that person last week, and now it's trickled over into this week.
Well, yeah, because she ended up in the bottom again.
Yeah, well, she will in the challenge. So the challenge says the challenge is presented to them as Choices 2020, and what Choices is the drag is the new name for the drag election. Who's going to be the first drag queen president of America? And they have done this challenge during all the presidential episodes, presidential campaigns. They did one in season 4, one in season 8, and here we are with this season for this coming 2020 election. And basically, how the challenge runs is that they are going to be doing a mini stylized debate. They will have moderators who kind of function as also interviewers moderator type thing. And they're set up at the podiums just like in a regular presidential debate, and they're each shot particular questions kind of related to politics and kind of with a twist of drag thrown in the mix. The challenge is this is not about politics. No. They really address that matter about not being too over the top serious about politics, especially in these times when people are like these drag queens are incredibly serious about politics. That they need to make it. This is a challenge about presenting themselves in a unique situation as what they bring to the world. Who is their person? Who is their drag queen? What is their drag queen?
It's just like a Miss America type of thing in a way, where you're supposed to tell what are you going to do to change the world. If you could do one thing, what are you going to do? And you have to showcase your talents and everything else. It's more than an election. It's more like a pageant. Yeah, and now we're putting an election into the pageant, which is cool. I'm not knocking it.
No,
I like the way it is.
Debate basically like all the pageant challenges all in one. Just prove to me why your drag is going to change the world over her drag, or what your drag is going to do for the world. And that's the challenge that they're presenting. Now they are told they can do whatever they want. They can absolutely go they can create a platform for themselves that's serious, and why their drag means something to that serious platform. They can be completely comical, completely off the bat, or they can be kind of a combination of anywhere in between. Some people choose to do like the exact opposite of what you would think and just go the completely made up funny round, whereas other people try and do the political thing. They try and do the serious thing. And we've learned from the years past that if you go absolutely left batshit, you're going to do better in this challenge than trying to be serious and try and present real political things on a show called RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah. And that's what happened again in this challenge. The people who were put on a character.
I love the co-host? Can I say how much I love the guest host this week? I love the guest host. The guest host this week.
They're great.
Yeah.
It was. Look.
I was going to say, you're going to tell everybody who it was?
I was going to bring him out.
It was Jeff Goldblum and what was the girl's name? Her last name is Bloom. What is her first name?
Jeff Goldblum was on the show.
Along with another one's name. Her last name is Bloom, but I can't remember her first name.
Yeah, her name.
But they were great. I have to give Jeff Goldblum some serious.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum. Oh my God! This became Jeff Goldblum's episode. It was hilarious.
It was. I mean, he took charge.
Jeff Goldblum started questioning how they talked and where it went. He's so new to this whole world of drag. You could tell the general real life interest that he was just absolutely fascinated about. It was hilarious.
Great, because I was like, oh, he's actually going to ask that question.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about how they did the challenge, and we'll get back to it.
But there's people who want to know those questions, but they're too scared to ask,
Jeff Goldblum was hilarious. But what I didn't like about the format of this challenge, and I never liked this, and they've done this a lot. This is a very VH1. This is a very mainstream type thing that they do on the show now.
It's not the same as when it was on.
Well, they use the judges. They use the judging panel, Michelle and Carson and RuPaul and all that. And they put them into the mix of a big production of it. The whole Michelle Visage thing being an off-camera reporter. Why? What was the point of any of that? I think that's just overproduced. It takes time away from the contestants. It's kind of like the American Idol thing in the first episode when you had Ross and them, Carson doing the whole. They were the judges on American Idol with Jaja, and it was just so much time is taken away from the actual contestants on the show.
Pretty much, yeah.
I didn't like that aspect.
I think that was, in my opinion, that was a waste of Michelle's time.
Yeah, it was, and it was a waste of airtime on the show.
Yeah. but the banter that they had going back and forth was great.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. First off, we got Raven. Raven is the guest in the workroom this season or this episode. She comes in and she walks around and helps critique all the girls. And I like that RuPaul's doing this.
I want to wear them.
Like we've had Banshee on this. A couple of the more popular queens from seasons past coming in and doing the workroom because I think that gives.
What the hell?
Remember, a lot of these queens know each other, and so like, some of these girls in that room were probably friends with Raven or Vanjie or whoever was in there. And so when they're walking the workroom and doing all that, they actually I think there's a level of comfort. Oh, she's been in my shoes. She's practicing. So I can ask her question. Then if Raven tells me, suck it up and don't do that or change that or you're doing fine, I can trust Raven more than I can trust big grand RuPaul because Raven's been there. A couple times Raven has been there. So I like that. I like that aspect of RuPaul doing that. But the reason why Raven is there, it's so accessible, if you guys didn't know, that when Matthew, his last name, used to do RuPaul's hair and makeup for years, he retired, no longer does her hair and makeup anymore. Raven now does RuPaul's hair and makeup full time. Raven is her stylist.
No way, Jose. You can't give it back and then take it. It's got grease all over it.
I like that. So they went around the workroom. They're doing the thing, and I thought Raven was incredibly beneficial to them. Raven did not hold back. She was basically what she was doing is she wasn't critiquing them personally herself. Saying, I think you should do this. She was critiquing them in the sense of, if Ru is telling you this, this is what that means.
This is what
and
you
listen to it that way. And that was cool. That was really
otherwise
cool.
known as listen to the critiques because what
and I had mentioned that on the show. I had mentioned that on this channel before, talking about why they never listened to something that RuPaul's telling them directly. And I think Raven coming out and telling them that was really beneficial. It was like, listen, wake up. This is your wake up call. If it's outside of your drag and RuPaul's still telling you to do it, do it. There's a reason they're telling you to do something.
If they tell you to do something, do it.
They're looking for something.
Don't be like, oh, they're trying to trick me. This is really what they don't want me to do. It's not reverse psychology, people.
No.
Exactly. It's not. They're looking for something specific and they're edging you towards that.
Like all these competitions, the judges will give them advice and be like, listen, I would do it this way. And they still don't listen. And it's like, why? People, they are telling you exactly what they want from you. Individually, what they want from you.
Say you as a take a singing competition, for example. Say you are a pop disco singer, and your judge is telling you, "I want you to try a country song next week," and you think, "There's no way in hell I'm going to do a country song. That's so not me. I don't like country music." There's a reason they're asking you to do a country song.
Right.
There's something in your voice. There's something in something that they're wanting to see, that they're wanting to hear from you and wanting to try. Who cares if you ever sing another country song again in your life? Do it for the show.
Do it to win the show. Yeah. You're there to win. You're there to do anything to win. So do it.
And I've noticed of the contestants, the one that is the most, as far as being a sponge when it comes to that, is Heidi right now.
Heidi. Oh my God. She's amazing when it comes to that.
When it comes
I think Heidi as a person and as a drag performer has really found herself in this competition. There's a lot of people that get really torn down by reality show competitions, and Heidi was lifted up. I think she really, if she goes before the final four, it's going to be devastating to see her exit because I think she's grown the most out of all of them that have come in here, and I think she's going to be a big personality in years to come through the show.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't like her in the beginning at all.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't, and she's hilarious.
Now I freaking love her.
Oh, she's great. She's my top choice to win, but I don't think she will. But she's my want to win. I have people that I think will win. I have people that are probably set up to win show wise because the show does that. But Heidi is my heart that I want to win. Yeah. However, we do know statistically, RuPaul always picks the fair winner, and right now we have Gigi and Jada about tied statistically. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting finale. All right. So anyway, we go into the challenge. They're doing the election thing. And so we've got, I don't even know how many girls we have left. Seven, I think?
7 at this time. 7 at this point.
So we've got Sherry, which of course we've yet to talk about because she's been completely edited out of the show. You didn't see Sherry one time in the workroom. I totally forgot she was there until she's getting at the podium.
They had her walking in, but that was before she was in drag.
Yep, it was crazy. And then so she's there, her persona, she's doing the old lady again. And it was very, very interesting. They made a point to show that on the show, that her old lady shtick is getting really old, and people are tired of hearing it because she did it in Snatch Game, she did it in the American Idol Challenge,
She did it in Grey's Anatomy. She did it in
yeah. So getting really, it's like her shtick. It's getting really old.
It's
and
getting
then we've got
It's getting old bad.
I don't know the order, but you've got her. You got Willow Von Doom did a serious take. She did Willow, I'm running for election, and here's my platform take,
Right.
and it backfired just like it always does when people do that. Jackie did a.
She kind of.
Did she do the Canadian? She did the Canadian thing.
Yeah, she did.
Jackie's Canadian by nature, and she did. Or no, was that Crystal Method? Why am I getting the two of
No,
them?
Crystal Method did something else.
Oh, she did. She was kind. Oh, she did the mullet thing, the kind of
Yeah,
kooky
she
glitter
did-
thing. Yeah. So Jackie was the Canadian thing, and then you had Gigi did the robot again, which is so
Yeah.
funny because Gigi did the robot again and didn't get clocked for it. Sherry did the old lady thing and got clocked for it, whereas
Yeah.
Gigi has.
How many times has she done the old lady thing?
Yeah, for now.
But how many times has she done the old
Done
lady
the
thing?
old lady thing. This is like the fourth
Like 4
time.
times. Yeah. And Gigi's done
But
the
you're
robot. I
right,
like it.
though. I'm surprised nobody did call her out on the robot.
I mean, it was pretty close to her Snatch Game performance too.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch the backstage? You know,
I
the
did.
pants. Did they talk about that?
I don't think so.
Uh,
no.
No, actually, they didn't. They just did a lot of like congratulations on the outfits and things like that. There was
Yeah, and it was a lot of the whole.
there was a little bit of,
Widow.
there
It
was
was
a little
Widow's
bit of drama,
self-confidence
but
too.
not really a whole lot because
Yeah, the whole thing was Widow's self-confidence in Untucked. Why
Yeah.
Widow's tearing herself down, and why do you want to be here if you don't have you don't want to be here? Blah, blah, that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, for Widow, Jackie, yeah, Crystal did the whole glitter. I'm goofy, very Chad Michaels this first season, and then Jada did kind of the
Jada
street.
did really well actually.
Yeah, the street cultured black lady that's I'm the bitch and I'm gonna clock you every step of the way. And
That's right.
At first I thought, oh god, she's doing the angry ghetto black woman thing. I was like, this is either gonna bomb or something's gonna happen. And then she started to boost her confidence. She was getting positive responses from Jeff Goldblum. And when she was getting positive responses from Jeff Goldblum, she thought she got funnier and funnier and funnier. Until by the end,
she went with it. It was great.
absolutely running away with it. And it was hilarious when she said, "Look over there."
Look over there. You know, whenever she didn't want to answer a question. That's exactly what she did. It was just like, look over there.
No, she's like, but it was funny. It's really paid off. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sherry.
There's
Jada.
7 of them right now.
Oh, Heidi. What did Heidi do?
Heidi.
Oh, Heidi did Southern
Heidi
Baptist. thing.
Yeah,
The Southern. Yeah.
she did the Southern thing, which actually worked for her really well.
I thought she was losing herself in it. She was getting swallowed up by everything that was going around until the end. In the end, she came back. She's kind of stole some of the energy. So that was good. The whole feigning thing, and it was cute. But middle of the line talent. Yeah, Jada, that's what we're talking about. So Runway was Red, White, and Blue, Stars and Stripes.
Stars and Stripes.
And they all had a different take on what I found really unique. In this, they've done this challenge before on the runway, and it's usually been kind of similar. They did it in season 2 when everybody was like kind of real. There was like a couple standouts, but not really. This one, they were all so
They were
significantly
all so good. All of them.
different. And
I can't
Jackie-
pick a favorite. It sucks. I can't pick a favorite this time because I love them all.
Jackie came out in full burqa, headgear, the works, but in American colors. And my God, was it
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely. And she explained how she felt about the whole thing, and I was really shocked. And I me,
My
I,
mouth
you know,
was wide open
I'm
that they
going to
actually left that in.
I've been going through my own deal this week with my parents, and it was to sit here and listen to her talk about her family and her love for her mother, and the pain that it took her to wear that on that stage, and the embarrassment that she has culturally in that, and then it was actually almost like going out naked, to do that. It was like, wow, you don't think about these things. It's like as an American, as just a regular white kid, walking on, you don't think about these things. But my
Yeah.
God, it was powerful for me. It was really powerful to watch and to hear her tell her story. And if you get anything from the episode, that's the one clip that you should go back and look at, is because it was so incredibly powerful. And unfortunately, Jackie gets put in the bottom, doesn't she?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
Jackie, well, Jada wins. Jada wins for her
Jada
kooky,
wins the whole thing. Yeah.
stick in the election where Jeff Goldblum just loved her, absolutely loved her. And it was on panel. It wasn't during the challenge. It was on panel that Jeff Goldblum was talking about tucking and all that. He's like, well, where do you put it?
It was. I was like, oh my God, he's actually doing it. He's like, I'm like, you're not going to get your answer right now. You might get your answer later, but you're not going to get it on air.
I love that he asked it. I love that he asked it.
He asked a couple things. You have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
He was doing it in a very Jeff Goldblum kind of way, but very serious. And he was like, you could see it in his face. He was really curious. He really wanted to know.
He really wanted to know.
So, what a great judge. Really, really cool judge.
I would love for him to come back again.
Oh, so would
like, oh my God, can you please just come back again?
They probably will have him back.
Yeah.
Not this season.
They didn't have him.
No, not this season.
But,
what are you doing? No. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Widow wins everything. And then in the bottom is Widow for her poor performance, the serious political performance that.
Yeah, her runway was beautiful. But
it was. Oh yeah, it was. It was
her
really,
runway was beautiful, but her debate was horrible.
Her debate was screamed typical desperation. It was, she knew that she wasn't standing up being funny like the other girls. She didn't have anything else prepared. So instead of being funny and going with everybody else's story,
funny and charming,
defensive, and she started lashing out at people on the panel, and it fell flat. It was really ugly,
including Ru. Paul, I couldn't believe she actually did that. I'm like,
it wasn't
actually
good.
Have the balls to do that? That was not good.
Yeah, it was not good, and she's on the bottom for it. And Jackie's Canadian thing, they did not like. They didn't respond to. And the panel didn't respond to it because they thought that was the only joke she had. And she kept using it over and over again, which typically. But what I think happened a lot for me personally is I think that Jackie ended up in the bottom to tell her story. I think that they knew they knew this story was going on. That I think the creators around the reality TV-ness of it, had this fantastic story to tell. And by her ending up in the bottom and rising up and wearing this outfit, and it was a great story to tell.
Yeah,
and she does tell it. So they did the lip sync. I don't remember the song.
I don't remember the song either.
Good though. I forget the song.
It was good though.
The lip sync was great. It was. Wait, what the fuck was the song?
Oh, they did Firework.
Yes, Firework. Yeah, and
Katy
Perry.
Yeah, Jackie had a really great, interesting, unique take on presenting the thing. She did a very. It reminded me of animation, old cell animation. Where you see the kite flying, and it was neat. And then she got really powerful in the upbeat song, whereas Widow did just a typical diva type performance, which wasn't bad. If Widow was on the stage by herself, it would have been fine. But Jackie was so original in what she was doing that she stole that stage. And Widow goes home. And in Widow's exit, it was finishing up that whole self-deprecation thing. I've let you down, RuPaul. I'm so sorry. I hate myself for it, RuPaul. You didn't let me down. You won by being here. Pick yourself up. And RuPaul got snappy at her. And they talk about this in Untucked. Because RuPaul loses their temper every once in a while on the show. When it usually comes around girls beating themselves down. And RuPaul just absolutely cannot stand it. Because RuPaul, over anybody else on that show, knows if I ask you to come on this show, you've already been chosen of the few. And if you present yourself right, all you have to do is be a genuine person. You could have a multi-million-dollar career. I've given it to you. So don't come out here and waste my time and tell me how terrible you are, because I know you're not. I picked your ass. You're on this show. And so when a person keeps doing this over and over, RuPaul loses her temper every once in a while. She's like, no, I'm not by. And she did this episode. She got a little snappy with her.
She got a little snippy, and I understand why.
And also in challenges, if the girls are just not doing a challenge and just fucking it all up and not paying attention, RuPaul gets snappy too, because she's like, don't come on this show and waste my time. Because if you're going to work,
Well,
you're gonna
because
work.
even regardless, not only like you said, does she not like them beating themselves down? But if you're not here to do the competition, why did I spend my time picking you? Why am I spending my money on you?
Exactly.
Because they
Just
don't think about there's still money that's involved in the cost for each contestant.
you walk in that door, you have now become a commodity of RuPaul. You're
Yeah.
another product. It's like she gonna waste her time on bad product.
And it doesn't matter how long you're on the show, you're still a commodity.
No.
Even after.
Well, because that's why you sign contracts, because
Right.
they bring you back for, reunion shows and all stars and all that stuff.
They have proven they have made stars out of the first eliminated.
Yes.
Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie had fucking Gavin Newsom on the campaign trail during this last thing when he was running for governor, stating Vanjie quote. Miss Vanjie, Gavin Newsom was up there saying. I mean, this is a household name now, and she was the first person out her season.
Yeah.
So it's all you have to do is get chosen and be a decent person. You can't get chosen and be a Sherry Pie. You got to get chosen and do something decent out of your work and present yourself as a positive light for RuPaul's brand. Make yourself a fortune. I mean,
I was actually happy that they knocked Sherry Pie down a couple pegs because
they did finally. Yeah,
she's doing the same thing.
I have a feeling that Sherry makes it to the finale, and when we get there, if she is indeed there at the finale, it's going to be very interesting to see how the show. Well, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how the show handles the finale anyway, because they can't film it. There's no way that they can film this finale right now. It would have been filmed in April, and here we are, the last week in April. We're going into May. They don't have a finale filmed. We've got like 3 weeks left of the show because they take it down to the final four, and we just lost one. So down, there's two more.
We're now down to the final 6.
Yeah, so there's 2 more nominations before the final four. So we're 2 weeks away from finale week, and they haven't even picked a winner. They haven't even filmed the finale, and we'll see what happens. They've already announced California is going to be closed down to the middle of June at the absolute earliest. So they're not going to be. They announced in Hollywood that the unions of Hollywood have stated that no filming, no production will resume until 2021. So they ain't filming nothing for TV for this till next year. So I don't know how they're going to do it. So it's going to be interesting.
It's sad, but
it's TV for next year.
I know, but I understand why they have to do this. They have to do this to protect all the people involved. Which
Here's on a side note. Here's the most startling statistic that woke my ass up to this whole thing. In the Spanish flu back in 1900, whatever it was, the Spanish flu. There was in the first surgence, the first wave, like what we're in right now, this whole first wave where it goes through the world. They lost like 5 million or 3 million people or something. It's like single digits. In the second resurgence, they lost 100 times that many. So like if we lose 1 million people, because we're say we're 1 million people infected, this surgence, it could go through a wave 2. We could have 100, 200 million people infected if it resurges itself. We've got to snuff this out the first time. We can't have a second wave.
They were talking about it coming back in the fall, even stronger already.
I'm saying that it hasn't gone anywhere. Why do they keep saying it's coming back? It hasn't gone.
It's weird.
That's giving people the false hope that heat is going to have an effect on it. And there's been nothing scientifically proven about heat having any effect on any of this.
No.
So
if anything, it might slow it down, but that's because of people aren't stuck in close quarters and such.
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously,
we are setting ourselves up for a second surge because half the states are opening up and people are just going about their daily life, and we've already put ourselves on a path. But anyway, that's something.
Anyway, regardless, we will be here to entertain you guys. So you're
gonna January 2021. We're ushering you in the new year because we're also on lockdown.
Yeah. It's otherwise known as settling, guys.
I don't know how we're going to have electricity by then because I don't know how that fucking electric panel is going to be working. But because I don't know how the world sustains itself in the economy.
I know. So do we want to talk about Untucked?
Oh, yeah, Untucked. Let's see. What happened in Untucked? A lot of Widow. Widow, I've let you guys down. I don't know what happened to me. I'm the worst contestant on the show. I need attention. I need attention. I need attention. Oh, here, let me give you attention. Let me give you attention. You're great. You're great. You're wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. That happened during Untucked. And then we got the Jackie storyline in Untucked. Jackie talked. This is where Jackie really talked about her family. She opened up to the girls about the whole burqa and the whole headdress and what Trump has done to her, to her family. And Crystal's in the same boat. Crystal's of Muslim descent, and she was able to discuss this, the same things. It was interesting. Crystal has parents of Trump supporters. Jackie is absolutely on the opposite end of that. Both of them are Muslim descent. Talking about how the immigration stuff with Trump and the hatred stuff really affected them in their life. And we all know, us being good people know how bad that was when it happened. But all of us being white really didn't see the effects of that in our daily life.
Not just white, because there's people that come over that are white, but being Americans already, being U.S. citizens, being U.S. citizens, because that's what it was. It wasn't a race thing; it's a citizen thing.
But it affected the race thing because they started picking on.
Well, yeah, it definitely did. You're right.
So that was a big topic this episode.
And it's so important with what Trump has been doing now with this whole COVID thing. It was nice to see an episode tackle him in such a negative light, but not in a catty way. These are facts that he has done to this country, and this is how it's affected an individual. And that's what I liked. He showed the individuality of certain effects of things.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got more widow drama because she's, oh, woe is me.
She needs to go home already.
Oh, she did.
Oh, I know. That was my point.
I was actually very happy that she went home today.
Now, besides the negativity with Sherry, now all the drama's gone. All the bullying, all the mean girls, all the catty girls, they're all wiped out. And now we got people that want to be there, that are dead serious about competing, that are all genuine to each other, that all have self-respect for each other. And now we can finish out the competition in somewhat of a positive light. And I really enjoyed this episode, probably more than any of them, because this episode just felt good. It felt right that we were on the path to having a fun show again and not something that was tainted and really dragged down. And now we got a handful of girls that we can root for and really cheer for. Find out who we want back without all this. It was more not so much the Sherry Pie thing for me. It was the Aiden bullying thing for me that really left a negative taste in my mouth with this cast in the beginning. I was really down for that whole bullying thing.
Although I do feel that, I'm glad that she got disqualified, but I do think they could have brought someone else in to take her place, because
then they would have to refilm
or have completely redone it, because of the fact that I feel bad for everyone else in the cast because of that.
Yeah,
because
I don't think there was any way. Well, we obviously know now there would have been no way to refilm it because of production just shut down.
Because we could have had someone else in top four.
They filmed the year before, so this season was filmed in June. Wait, this is what 2020. So this season was filmed in June of 2019. They always filmed in June, July, August time, and so this was filmed in June. Probably finished up in 3 or 4 weeks. It takes to film the season.
Yeah.
So that would take us by end of summer, say, and then it started airing when? January.
Yeah,
February?
January, February.
We would have had 6 months if they had decided that. But remember, here's the catch with the whole Sherry thing was that she was called out. Those guys came forward after the show started. It was after episode 1 when the show started that those guys came forward. So they didn't even know. They didn't even know during the early press days of promoting the show. Nobody knew. So there was no way they could do it. What I thought they should have done is aired it as it was edited.
Because as they originally did it.
By eliminating a person from the storyline, you're altering people's storylines because they're acting like she's not in the room when she's a human being and she's obviously not quiet. She's not a personality that's just sitting as a meek mouse in the corner. She has affected the lives of the girls in that room. So I think she should have been able to be present because of the other girls, because that's their story too.
Right.
But
I mean, I do feel bad for the rest of the cast because someone else could have been in the top 4
Absolutely.
that was more deserving.
Like what if Heidi goes home, or Jackie goes home, and Sherry's still sitting there? This is devastating.
I know.
And I guarantee you, that's probably going to happen.
Just sad.
What?
Just makes me sad.
What if? Say Sherry makes just hypothetical. Say Sherry makes it in the final four. What if they bring that fifth place removal to replace her in the finale? That'd be cool.
That would be nice.
That person that goes home right before the finale, they've competed in all the same challenges as that person. They're just not part of the finale.
That is not a good face to be frozen on.
What? Mel?
I said I'm frozen.
Are you frozen?
That sucks. Hold on. I'll be back.
Done. There you go. She's like,
that was me getting ready to be like, what the fuck?
oh, speaking of what the fuck, where's that tweet? It's not RuPaul related, it's American Horror Story related. What does that tweet say?
No. Don't say anything yet. I got to leave and come back in. Hold on.
Okay.
I love that. Don't say anything yet. Just wait. Oh my goodness.
$18.
I just think that they should obviously. I understand they should have left the filming the same and just not cut her out, because it does ruin the continuity of everything that's going on.
Yeah, and then replace her if she makes the pop with that other person. What?
I can move. Look, I can move. The magic doesn't work on me, Mike.
You're not all frozen. Put your wand down.
Y'all, I watched y'all stream in my absence when I was gone. Nobody said, and we're out.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Last time we didn't.
Me and Dawn do it together.
You do it all the time. Mel and I do it all the fucking time.
We have figured out how to do it with 3 of us, and we figured out how to do it with 2 of us. Now, 1, we're screwed.
I know. Can't do it with 1. It's gotta have 10.
1, you're just going to be talking to your damn self.
Right.
Yes, and we also, we'll talk about this when we get off air. I'll explain it, because Mel and I discovered something else, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
What?
No, I don't want to talk about it on air. We'll talk about it afterwards. But do we have anything else that we want to discuss about RuPaul before we leave?
No. I see it for next week. I don't know.
Okay. Are you doing
you know what next week's episode is titled?
No, we do not. We don't have a title yet.
Okay.
I think there'll be 2 more episodes before the finale. So that's there's got to be there. Oh, next week is the makeover challenge.
Okay.
Next week's the makeover challenge.
All right.
Fun. I'm going to come dressed in my best drag.
It's Straight Girl Superfan, I believe.
Something like that. That they haven't come up with a title yet, but I did see the preview for next week.
So it's female makeovers.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Okay. So the tweet.
The tweet.
Ryan Murphy tweeted today.
Oh,
we had an AHS announcement.
That completely went over my head.
Yeah, it's
All right,
AHS news.
Yes.
AHS breaking news. Breaking news. 3 hours too late. Just in, Ryan Murphy tweets a picture of a fat dude in a rubber man suit. Now, did anybody go back and watch clips to see who that was in the?
That was a shot.
I think that was the same body shape.
That was
that was a screenshot from Walkups. Yeah, which was who was the fat dude in the suit? He's fat. Who that was? He is. It's fact. He is. It's not. That's not Evan in there.
No way is that Evan
I'll be in the rubber suit most of the time.
There might have been Ryan Murphy in there.
Ryan Murphy's not fat.
Don't you tell me that?
But no, my question.
What did he say? I'll be back. Or something.
Why
about clean after you?
But why would he?
Okay, here's what I think is what it is. is I think that Ryan is tweeting because the production shut down on American Horror Story, and from what I hear in the Hollywood insiders, that all film productions are shut down until 2021. Regardless because all the unions are shut down until 2021. That's what they talk is that they've decided to do. And so if they can't resume till January, that's 6 months out. That means we're not going to have American Horror Story next year.
7 months out, and that's actually 7+ months out.
Yeah. So what if he's saying that he's going to be doing some special based off of Apocalypse or something, based off of older seasons?
Maybe
he's going to answer some questions.
That would be nice.
Maybe he's just going to release some behind the scenes footage.
Yeah. Because like Disney Plus is releasing a Mandalorian documentary series on the making of the Mandalorian. So, you know, they're coming.
My question is, why on earth would he pick the Rubber Man to tweet with? It's like really
the Rubber Man.
There's a reason. It's Rubber Man on purpose.
It's Rubber Man from Apocalypse.
Right.
On purpose.
But I don't think I'm crossing my fingers. I don't think it's Apocalypse related. I think it's Rubber Man related.
Why did they use Evan?
I just hope it's not. I'm not gonna I'm not trying to bag on anything, but I don't want to go back to the witches yet.
I don't either. That's what I was telling Common. I said I'm not ready to go back to Murder House or the witches just yet.
We need more.
I call it the odd track. You got the odds and you have the evens.
Yeah.
And I call it the odd track. I'm not a fan of the odd track per se. I'm more a fan of the even track. 2, 4, 6.
Oh no, I understand that, but it's just like I don't want to go back to the witches. I don't want to deal with Murder House right now. I want to.
Is it the witch? Well, you don't have what's her face in the cast. You don't have Emma.
You can't do the witches without Emma.
Yeah,
but maybe he's announcing something about the spin-off thing they were contemplating, or maybe like I said, maybe it's just going to be behind the scenes footage because he knows everybody's quarantined and stuck at home, and he wants to give everybody something AHS related because he's not going to open and spill the beans just yet on next season, especially if it's pushed to January.
This gives him more time to vamp up the season and make it the way he wants.
Yeah, I think he's trying to
make it 13 damn episodes or 12.
Damn it, he better make it longer.
10.
I don't think this is news related. I think he's giving us content. He's going to give us something to watch.
Because he doesn't tweet unless there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I'm just baffled in the fact that he chose.
Is that picture a behind the scenes picture, or is it a still from the show?
It's a still from the show. Yeah. It's when Gallant first sees the Rubber Man standing in the doorway before he comes in to sex him up.
Yeah. I'm just like, why would you pick that one of all things?
It's like Cody in that outfit either. Who did they have the Rubber Man outfit for Apocalypse? Because that's not Cody's body shape at all.
No.
Cody was never in it.
Cody was never in body shape. He was in Murder House, remember?
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, that's right.
Evan was in Murder
when
House.
Michael was in the Murder House, he wore the rubber suit.
Yep.
Okay.
But that's not him.
No. The one that's in the rubber suit is not either one of them.
He's got a fat upper body. This guy, you could see that he's,
The only thing that makes sense is like knowing the rest of the story with Apocalypse is that Michael had manifested it, so it's like a demon manifestation type of thing.
That's how I took it. That it was actual, just because it wasn't in the murder house, it was outside of the murder house. It was in the freaking bunker.
Right. And remember the big thing. Like my theory was that it was Michael in the suit, and it wasn't, because we then saw Michael. But I'm telling you, still, when they did that reveal and they pulled when he was right face to face with him, not the reveal, face to face when Evan was with the Rubber Man, I was like, please pull that off. And I wanted it to be Evan. I wanted him to do like the double screen. And I thought that would have been so cool for him to be staring at himself. But it would have been meta. It would have been really meta, because they're not looking. They wouldn't look at each other as if they look alike, just like, oh shit. But it's two different characters.
with Sarah's characters, they could have done a meta moments as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
many. So many.
I mean, you could have freaking Lana Winters interviewing what's her face from Cult.
Yeah.
She said she wasn't going to go on the Lana Winters show. You could have had her go on the Lana Winters show.
Or we could have Lana interviewing Billie Dean about her abilities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, that is the tweet that we got today, and we're still
You
trying
guys, you know what? Listen, we need to go back and pay attention to Lana's life. Does Lana ever work for Lifetime? Because the timeline would have fit when Lana would have been more popular the time Billie Dean got her Lifetime special.
I don't know. I haven't seen the last few episodes that I missed. I forgot.
Because in 2011, Billie Dean's talking about getting her Lifetime special soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we know Lana started, you know, in the 60s and the 70s with her expose in her career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true, BRT.
Oh, would Ryan do something that in a tweet like that? Maybe
there's new Rubberman costumes coming out for Halloween.
I swear, I think it's content. I think he's giving people something to watch.
I do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think it is too. I think isolation and
everybody wants something new, and they're all stuck.
Yeah,
at
we're
home.
getting the end of seasons. We're getting to a place where there's like not a lot of new stuff coming out. You know, Netflix is trying to use it sparingly. Disney Plus is trying to use it sparingly.
We have Hollywood soon.
Oh yes, we have Hollywood soon. Hollywood
on May 1st.
Oh yes, May 3rd. Yeah, we should cover that. We should cover.
We are going to cover it.
We'll discuss that with you later. We've already talked about that. We've worked the schedule out.
All right. I'm on for the ride. Does that mean we don't have to cover Coven?
No, we have to cover Coven.
I gotta say,
we're starting Coven tomorrow, people.
Because I have to watch it. The opening of Coven is set. Those first 2 episodes of Coven are so long, so terrible.
We have to do it.
Such a setup. It's like, let's get to the point. What's the point?
So anyway, guys, that is our show for today. Mike, are you doing a wand before we leave?
There's stuff of Coven that I really like. I do. I really like.
He's still venting.
Michael, are you doing a wand before we sign off?
Oh, I am.
No.
I got. I've never finished my series on fucking Apocalypse, but we'll get to that later.
Well, we're done with Apocalypse. Mel and
I know. I have to finish it somehow, so I'll find a reason to finish it. This wand is the wand of Harry Potter's son, Albus Potter, from the Cursed Child. This is his son's wand. Fact about Albus Potter.
It's simple though. Look at it.
I love it. It's such a really, really cool one. I love all the Cursed Child ones. They're very organic. Albus Potter was sorted into Slytherin and not Gryffindor.
Surprise.
Yep, great story. Well, people hate it, but I love the story.
What, the fact that he was sorted into Slytherin?
No, the fan community of Harry Potter really has turned against J.K. Rowling. They're pissed about Cursed Child because they don't understand a play, especially a Broadway show. What do you go to the theater for? You go to the theater for like a big spectacle entertainment, right? A one-night entertainment. It's not a movie over and over again. So if you're bringing the whole family, spending $100 on tickets to go to this one night of entertainment to see Harry Potter, what are you expecting to see? The hits, right? You're expecting to see all the things that makes you love Harry Potter. So that's what they did with the show. It was a show about time turners, and it goes back to all of the greatest moments through the Harry Potter thing with the time. And it's fantastic. But people are just like, well, that doesn't move the story along, and that's not the sequel we wanted, whatever.
It's not about us. It's about
satisfied. Yeah, it's a theater experience. So, but this is his one.
Very nice.
I already showed Draco's son's one, which is one of my favorite ones. Yes, and then I'll finish the Death Eaters. I think there's a couple of Death Eaters. I'll finish it somehow. somewhere.
We'll get it in there.
I have a different series I'm going to do for Coven. So.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get out of here. We will be back tomorrow. Fresh start. We're gonna be starting Coven tomorrow.
To initiate you all into our coven.
Yes.
Come one, come all. Join the coven, my friend.
And just so you know, we all have to do Apocalypse because we all hate Apocalypse, but we're
I can't wait to cover Apocalypse. I'm dying to cover Apocalypse. Let me tell you, those are gonna be 2-hour-long episodes. We're gonna go off on that nonsense. I can't wait because we didn't get to cover it through Beyond the Horror. I'm dying to cover it.
I know. I can't wait. But yes, we are covering Coven. I know you don't want to do it, but we all have to do things we don't want to do. So
tell them, John. Tell them.
It's gonna be interesting covering Coven. I've not rewatched Coven since Apocalypse, so it's gonna be interesting to rewatch Coven now that we've seen Apocalypse.
That's true. That's very true. We'll be able to tear it apart some more, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll have longer streams so we can tear it apart.
However, I love Kathy Bates and Angela Bassett. So.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. I totally agree. So we will
have a good night. Have a good night.
Have a good night. We will see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow for the Coven.
Yes, everybody take care. Thanks, guys.